Hey guys, I'm going to handicap the Preakness Stakes 2012. First we have Bodemeister. This is a very good horse. He's run 5 races this year, all very good races, either second or first in all his races. So he's a top contender. He was second to I'll have another in the Kentucky Derby, so this is a really good one. I'm going to handicap this race fairly quickly. I will say I'm going to discount any new shooters, so any horses that did not run in the Kentucky Derby, I'm going to completely dismiss them or throw them out. Brimstone Island, I'll describe a little bit why. Brimstone Island hasn't ran longer distances, you can tell here, and he hasn't ran any graded stake races, so I'm gonna move on from him. The next guy here is Cazzetti. Cazzetti hasn't performed very well in graded stakes races. He hasn't even come in second, so I'm going to move on from him also. Creative Cause is very good. He came in fifth in the Kentucky Derby, so he's somebody that apparently in the Kentucky Derby he ran he ran the longest distance because he was wide. He was he was running on the outside for a while, so he has a shot. He's very good. Hansen, I'm going to completely dismiss. I think he's better at shorter distances, especially of a mile and 16th. In the Kentucky Derby, he was 9th, so I don't like him. I don't like Hansen unless he has a perfect setup. I don't like him for this distance, for this race. Yarrow, not very impressive. I'm going to move on. I'll have another is a very special horse. He ends up beating Bodemeister in the Kentucky Derby, so I really like him a lot. He's perfect for the year. He's 3 for 3. He's the only horse that's undefeated this year and good competition. Then I'm going to move on to Isn't He Clever? He's done okay, but in the Arkansas Derby he was 8, so that kind of showed me that he's going to be outmatched and outclassed in this race. Liaison did a little bit. I didn't believe in him at all, but he did a little bit better in the Kentucky Derby and got 6th. That's not good enough for me. Optimizer's a joke. I'm going to move on. Painter's only ran 3 races his entire life, and I just can't trust him, so I'm going to move on. Pretension, he's inconsistent, very inconsistent. He'll win a race and then come in 9th on another race, in a graded race, so I'm moving on from him. Teeth of the Dog, this dog has no shot. Tiger Walk, again, he's not very. Another horse that's not very good in graded races, so he's going to be outmatched in this race. Went the day well. I'm going to show a part of the video that's pretty impressive. I didn't believe in him at all for the Kentucky Derby because I thought he hadn't really beat anybody in his previous races. He ends up being 4th in the Kentucky Derby, so he's interesting. Zetterholm, He's won 3 races, 3 of his last races. But if you look closer at the competition, at the kind of races that he's ran, they're not very competitive races. They're not even one graded race, so he's going to be outmatched. And now I'm going to show the Kentucky Derby and make a few comments. Daddy Longlegs broke from the 1 hole, and he belongs in those European turf races. Optimizer, he's been challenging the top 3-year-olds, and he just can't beat them. Take Charge Indy got injured. Union Rags, a little bit overhyped. He got crushed by all those horses in the beginning. He really had no chance. Dullaham finished well. Bodemeister breaks from the 6th hole and goes to the lead. Rousing Sermon, outmatched. Creative Cause finished well. Trinidad, he's a sprinter. He didn't belong in this race. Daddy Knows Best didn't do much. Alpha didn't do anything. Perspective didn't do anything. Went the day well. Was the 13 horse, and he's He finished off very impressively. Hansen, the number 14, he's better at shorter distances. Gemologist, number 15, faded badly at the turn, turning for home. El Padrino didn't do much. Done Talking didn't do much. Sabercat didn't do much. The number 19 horse, I'll have another, eventually wins this race. The number 20 Liaison finished okay, but he was outmatched. Now, one thing that I'm gonna focus now on the top 4 contenders for the Preakness. The number 6 Bodemeister, he's in the lead right now. The number 19 horse, I'll have another. He's somewhere sort of stalking in towards the middle somewhere. He's the number 19 horse. Then Went the Day Well. He's the number 13 horse. He's somewhere mid-pack right now, making a move. And Creative Cause, he's the gray horse. He's going really, really wide. He's one of the widest horses right now. He's right next to Dolaham is on the far outside. Now, one thing to notice is that according the Creative Cause apparently ran the farthest race because he's running so wide that he has to run a longer race. Bodemeister's here is in the lead. Eventually, I'll have another 19. The number 19 horse catches up to him at a certain point here that I'm going to show. I'm gonna slow the tape down and show you here at the distance of a mile and about 3/16 where this pole is, where I'm slowing the tape down. This is about where the Preakness Stakes finish line is going to be. So I'm thinking I'll have another already catches up to him at this point, and he had to run farther. He had to run behind horses. He had to go wide at certain spots. So that's not going to happen in the Preakness Stakes. He should have even a better trip than the Kentucky Derby. Bodemeister had an absolutely perfect trip. He saved ground the entire trip. He was in the lead. No traffic trouble whatsoever. He had a clean trip. So I'm thinking for those reasons, I'll have another should win this race. I'm picking I'll have another to win. Bodemeister in second, Creative Cause in third, and Went the Day Well in fourth. Those are my selections for the Preakness Stakes.